I just got back from Japan where I was able to preview for you guys the new 2026 Mazda CX-5. It's the first redesigned for Mazda's best-selling crossover since 2016, so we're about 10 years removed from the new model, or should I say from this model debuting. And this has been nothing short of a massive smashing success around the world. And we're gonna detail why that's the case in today's review. And while spending time with the new CX-5 last week in Tokyo, it makes me appreciate this model so much. So in today's review, I'm gonna explain why you probably shouldn't even wait to buy the new CX-5. This one is nearly as perfect as they come for most people out there. There are some instances where I might recommend the new CX-5 over this, but I'm going to explain in today's video just how impressive this CX-5 still is to this day, despite not having any major changes in over 10 years. Underneath the hood, guys, this is a huge reason why you get this model over the new model. Is the Skyactiv-G turbo. I mean, this powertrain, where do I put the, there it is. This powertrain is absolutely fantastic. Over 300 pound-feet of torque, 250 horsepower. That's when you put 93 octane. It goes down a little bit if you just want to put regular. It's amazing. This sort of powertrain goes toe-to-toe with luxury powertrains like you see in the Acura RDX, like you see in the Lexus NX 350. So this is an amazingly smooth and amazingly torquey and luxurious powertrain. This is not available on the new CX-5. It's a huge downgrade. Now, this is the upgraded powertrain for this generation. You can get the 2.5 liter non-turbo on this generation with the 6-speed auto. They all have 6-speed autos. They're all-wheel drive. The base engine now on the CX-5 is 187 horsepower. This is 250 horsepower, right? And this is only $40,000. I think for $40,000, this is an amazing buy over something like a Lexus NX or an Acura RDX. It is that good and that luxurious of a vehicle, and this powertrain is that reason. Now that it doesn't have this powertrain, it's not as good of a vehicle. Simple as that. There are other reasons as well when we get on the inside that the new CX-5 isn't quite as impressive as a car. Where this does have a bit of a hiccup, and this might not matter to some of you, fuel economy. You're probably going to get around 20 miles per gallon in town, maybe 25, 30 on the highway with this turbocharged setup. You get hybrids with the RAV4, you get hybrids with some of the competition, and the new CX-5 does not have a hybrid at launch. It will have it in 2027, so you're still waiting. So, if you currently have a CX-5, there's no reason to get the new one, in my opinion, unless you want to wait for that hybrid. Wait for the hybrid. That's 27, 2028, somewhere in there. In the meantime, enjoy the heck out of your CX-5, especially if you have the turbo, because you're not getting this performance in the new CX-5. Pretty heavy hood though. The new one will have an aluminum hood. But man, did you hear that close? And just the fit and finish here. These are all made in Japan. Like the hood, everything aligns on here like a luxury car. The build quality on this is absolutely astronomical. I think it was around 2022 they refreshed the daytime running lights, but this vehicle hasn't needed to change a whole lot. This bezel's changed too when they refreshed it. Parking sensors on the front. It's a very clean and beautiful looking front end. The front end of the new CX-5 is a little bit sportier, which is ironic because it's not as sporty when it comes to the powertrain offerings. So the model I was with in Japan had this new wheel design, which I thought was really ugly and cheap looking. Yeah, 19-inch wheels. The new CX-5 also has 19-inch wheels. These are much better looking wheels. These are the wheels on this turbo touring model. All right, 360 camera here. Beautiful the side profile as well. Now the new CX-5 gets rid of this shiny chrome and replaces it with I think it's just a black bezel all the way around, which I prefer. I'm not a big fan of the chrome on cars, but that's just personal preference. I like the paint. Sorry, it's not paint matched, but it's kind of like this glossy black wheel arch that goes around. The new one has some cool notches. So from the side, the new CX-5 looks really nice. From the front, it looks nice as well. But let's get to the back. That's where some big differences are. Now, luckily, the CX-5 is keeping the dual exhaust with the new model. Again, it's It's more for show because we don't have a lot of performance with the new one. The rear taillights look really, really nice and futuristic on the new CX-5. They're more slim down and they kind of cut into the lift gate a little bit more. Also, they got rid of the Mazda badge here for the Mazda logo. Oh, sorry, the Mazda word font. All right, but it looks really nice because it ties the two elongated taillights together. So the new CX-5 is definitely a beautiful vehicle, and it gives you more cargo capacity. If that is something you feel like you're lacking on the current CX-5, it might be worth waiting for the new CX-5. However, there's already a CX-70 out there with 2 rows of seats and tons of cargo. So if you already need more cargo, just go get the CX-70. It's going to have all the performance you could want with the inline 6 or plug-in hybrid powertrains on that CX-70. Big fan of the CX-70, more so the CX-90, which anyways, different conversation. Those are pretty much the same vehicle. This also, the seats fold down exactly the same on the new CX-5. You have a 40-20-40 split, which is fantastic. Big spare tire here. I don't remember seeing the spare, there wasn't a spare tire on the new one, which is a bit unfortunate. I also have the Bose subwoofer in here, a little 12-volt accessory power, and then here are your levers to fold down the seats, and you also have this nice tonneau cover here in the back. So let's go and close this and get into the back seat. All right, well, the new CX-5 also has huge opening rear door, and this one opens really wide as well. Maybe not as quite as wide as the new one, but this is still impressive. And in fact, the new CX-5 is better for families. The rear, oh, let me turn off the radio, which is super easy to do in here, and I'll explain why the radio controls are so much better in a second. All right, you see this huge wheel arch back here. It's a little bit cumbersome. Abe's coming to say hi. He just got home. Come here, buddy. Hey, car. So you can see like the door opening is quite wide, but the issue is not the door on this model. It's this huge wheel arch, which has been pushed back. The wheelbase is a little bit longer than the new one, so better cargo capacity, better passenger capacity in the back seat as well. All right, and just you can see I'm almost hitting my head back here, which I don't remember having that issue on the new model. All right, so the back row is way better on the new CX-5. All right, a handle above the seat in front of me is pushed pretty far back. All right, the rear legroom is not as good here as the new CX-5 as a result too. Vents back here, I don't even have USB-C, so if you are someone who needs better connectivity in the back, this is the new model is going to be better for that. All right, yeah, also the new CX-5's materials in the back seat were a joke. All this was hard touch. They had fake stitching. This is real stitching here, real thread, real nice materials, even contrasting stitching here, different colors. Soft touch here on the top of the panel. The door handles are soft here. On the new one, this is all hard touch plastic. It feels and looks really cheap, especially if you zoom in on that fake like plastic threading that they have in this stitching. So yeah, it's a step up in terms of space and usability, but the materials are a huge step backwards on the new CX-5. Jeez, he's saying hello to the camera. Inside of this old CX-5, okay, well, let's start with the materials. The materials are still better here than the new CX-5. Soft touch here on the top of the door. Even on the new one, while it looks nice to the naked eye, it looks really pleasing. The material quality is not as good. You know, softer materials on the middle of the door, the top of the door, big improvement over the the new CX-5. All right, this is not aged that well. All right, aesthetically pleasing, the new CX-5 wins. All right, but this is where everything else is a huge improvement besides seat comfort. The new seats are better. I will say that. These seats suck. They've always sucked here in the CX-5. This bottom cushion's really small, really hard. The seats are better in the new CX-5, okay? But these seats are serviceable. They're not terrible. It's just one of the few cons that this vehicle has, all right? There's no volume knob that I could find in the new CX-5. It's tied into the steering controls on the left-hand side, which they've replaced the real buttons here with a touch panel setup, okay? It's not as bad as Mercedes touch panels. It's not as bad as some other touch, like Volkswagen touch panels I've been in. It's not terrible, it's not a deal breaker, but these buttons are better. I'll say that. All right, I like the shortcut to the 360 camera on the steering wheel on the new CX-5, but no volume knob on the new CX-5 is mind-blowing to me. What are you thinking? Okay, like, it's down here. Yes, it's next to the rotary dial, but it's just so easy to adjust the volume. Okay, traditional shifter lives on in the new one. I like the traditional shifter. All right, you also have drive control or drive modes right next to it. All right, so let's say you're driving down the road. Oh, too much fan speed. You just hit the button right here while your hand's resting on the shifter. And the new one, the screen is this big. I'm not kidding. The screen is this big. So these vents are pushed down to here. And then because the vents are so low, it's going to be not very good at cooling you down in the summer heat. It's summer here, like 7 months out of the year in Florida. I need to have my vents high, and those vents on the new CX-5 are really low. They're not going to do a great job at cooling you off. So you have this massive screen in the new CX-5. It's almost 16 inches. It's just too big, and the font's really small on it. Okay, so it's not easy. It's not as easy as like the new RAV4 software, for example, which have big chunky buttons, really simplified menus and everything. No, the new Mazda CX-5's menu, it's complicated or just not as easy to use because everything's so small, the screen's so big, you're reaching, you have to get out of your seat because the dash is pushed back further. So you kind of have to get out of your seat to just touch the far end of the screen. It is stupid. I don't say that word very much because it's not a very intelligent or encompassing word or descriptive enough. But stupid is a good word for not having a volume knob, not having climate control buttons and knobs that are physical here, and having too big of a screen with small touch interface. Okay, so this is a perfect setup. There's nothing wrong. The rotary dial here does suck for Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, but I can still use this as a touchscreen, and I don't really have to get out of my seat or anything. Like, what's wrong with it? I already have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This 10-inch screen is plenty big for 99.999% of people out there. I don't have any issues with it. All right. The steering wheel quality here is fantastic. The baseball stitching is great. Paddle shifters here. I think the new one has a fully digital MID back here. If you guys don't like that, if you prefer analog gauges, well, this is a simpler, more classic sort of setup here. Not as customizable, not as configurable as the new screen, but it is still really, really nice. The head-up display on here. It's getting old at this point, but it's still really, really good overall. No digital rearview mirror, but it is auto dimming. I don't have a panel roof option in this, which the new one probably does. All right, so let's go and start driving the old CX-5, and I'm going to tell you how enjoyable it is to drive as a high-end luxury challenging compact segment crossover. Steering is just pulling, and you see the 360 camera. The steering here is very firm. And it'll be interesting to see how much that changes with the new one. You know, Mazda prides themselves on Jinba Atai, which is this horse and rider relationship. And that's something with the new CX-5, with the lack of controls, or the lack of physical controls, it really takes away from that physical relationship you have with the car. All right, ride quality here, it's pretty darn good. The vehicle feels really tight. And when you have tightness, that means, well, it's going to last better, it's going to age better because of, it's not going to rattle itself to pieces in 5 to 10 years from now. Again, this made in Japan with elite craftsmanship, elite. It is very well built. The new CX-5 will be very well built, but again, not to the same material quality. The door panels here, so much nicer. The stitching everywhere is a little bit nicer. All right, on this old model. I don't expect the new CX-5 to have that much better ride quality because I'm not really lacking that much here. NVH, well, like I said, there's 0 creaks or rattles in this thing. It feels like it's made from one piece, and it is very quiet. Acoustic glass I even have on this touring model. It's very quiet, it's comfortable. If the seat isn't rock hard for you like it is for me, you know, everyone has different comfort tolerances in this seat. I got to get around this biker guy, and that's the amazing thing about this transmission. Luckily, this transmission carries over. And this 6-speed auto is just perfect. You don't need a gajillion gears in a car that's not like a super high-end performance car. So boom, really appreciate the torque here. Just pedal down and it pulls like a train or an old school luxury V8. This engine sounds good for a 4-cylinder. It's really, really impressive. And I just love driving this SUV. It doesn't feel too big. Great visibility as well. I don't have any blind spots. Right, like now that I'm going a little bit faster, 55, 60, ride quality is great, quiet is great. There's just no weaknesses to it. And let's throw this in the turn, well, maybe not, because that's not a through street. But yeah, just swerving back in, really good steering feel here. Point accurate. It's very, wherever you point the steering is very accurate. Okay, brakes, very linear, no issues. Happy without it. Throw it in the turn. Fantastic handling. That's amazing. It handles so well. Okay, and you have that nice feedback with the steering wheel. You know, the new RAV4 handles quite well too, but the RAV4, the steering isn't nearly as refined and like sporty feeling as it is here in the Mazda. Okay, so we will have, continuation of fun to driveness in the new CX-5, except with an average powertrain. All right, at least it doesn't have a CVT. Okay, so big props here to the CX-5, and I think I have my drag meter, which we'll do a little torque brake here. All right, torque brake. Oh, brakes are amazing. Okay, I spun the tires a little bit, and it kind of choked out of its stance. But 0 to 60 in 6.9, it is faster than that. I'm sure there's just regular here in this powertrain, so it's only working with like 228 horsepower or something instead of the 250 and the extra torque. All right, but 6.9 seconds is faster than the new RAV4 hybrid easily. Okay, so yeah, great acceleration. It is faster than that when you put premium fuel in there, but it's good to have the option to not need premium fuel as well. So CX-5 is just, it's perfectly fine the way it is. The only major downfall you could say is fuel economy. And that might not be an issue. A lot of people don't want a hybrid. They don't want electrification. They don't want a 10-speed auto. They don't want a CVT. They just want pure ICE. This is a perfectly executed compact crossover without too much complication. It is incredible. It's fun to drive. It handles well. It accelerates great. The materials are amazing. It's built well. It looks really, really nice still to this day. It's a timeless design. Let's go into the office. Let's put on the spreadsheet. Where does it rank? And let's see if we can find some deals. Praise the gods of Mount Fuji that the Mazda CX-5 is available in droves in the area I live. About 1,600 of these things available within 150 miles. If you are halfway interested in a CX-5, definitely go look at one, drive one. They are fantastic. And like the turbo is good, but you don't need the turbo. Like I rave about the turbo because it is like, it kicks everything else's butt in its class. But like, guys, look at these prices here. The turbo, sorry, the 2.5S, you can get it for well under $30,000. The CX-30 is dead in my opinion with how these things are priced. CX-30, most of them are built in Mexico. Get a CX-5. Even this base CX-5 is a great buy. What about the CX-5 or the CX-5 turbo here? Here's a carbon. $40,000 is a bit steep for a carbon. Here's one for 38. Okay, I would be getting the turbo. What was it? I had the turbo signature, whatever. All right, you get them all under $40,000. Okay, upper 30s for a CX-5 turbo, no brainer, because it competes very well against cars that cost a lot more than it in the luxury class, like a Lexus NX, like an Acura RDX. It goes toe-to-toe with those vehicles. It is fantastic, and it is so good
Even after all these years, it is still S-Class. It has aged like a fine wine, like a fantastic cheese pairing as well. We're going to take this out and put it right up here with another Mazda. Okay, again, there's no rhyme or reason. Once you're an S tier, you're an S tier. Not one S tier vehicle is better than the other. Okay, this is one of the best vehicles on the market. Its only downfall, really, its only major downfall is so-so fuel economy. And the new CX-5 will have, once the hybrid comes out, it will have better fuel. If you need better fuel economy, there's a couple things you can do right now. Toyota's hybrid system and the CX-50. Great option as well. It's not quite as good as this car, the CX-50 overall. It's still, I haven't driven it this year, I don't think, but I would put it in A tier, the CX-50 hybrid. The CX-5, though, is a better car overall, in my opinion, and my testing. I just enjoy driving it a lot more than the CX-50. CX-50 is good, and you can get better fuel economy on it with that Toyota hybrid powertrain inside of it. All right, so there's no reason to wait. There's no reason to wait for the new one unless you have to have the new one's design and you have to have the new one's extra people capacity and cargo capacity, unless you have to have the new one's hybrid in 2 years or whenever it comes out. It could be delayed. Who knows? All right, I want to put this one up here as well. Okay, the CX-70 inline 6 is a great option too. It's much bigger than this, but guys, you can get them in the low 40s. Great option. Better cargo capacity than even the new CX-5. So that's something to consideration, as well as the CX-90. If you just need more people capacity, the new one is not like, it's not a revelation. Just go get a bigger vehicle. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the comments. Long live the CX-5. We're on what, the second generation? We're going into the third generation. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Always am happy to get the CX-5 when it comes in for review. And the new one, I already know it's not going to be as good from a driver's perspective. And that's what's frustrating, is Mazda prides themselves on being this horse and rider sort of relationship with their cars. Okay. When I think horse and rider relationship, there is a connection that is very cerebral, a bit spiritual. You think something as the rider, and the horse anticipates your commands. The new CX-5, with its lack of physical controls, volume knob, lack of climate control, and mucking up a little bit the steering wheel buttons, there's no longer that anticipation of or that familiarity or that muscle memory or whatever it might be with the physicality of the vehicle. It's like you have a nicer saddle, but the horse doesn't listen to you like it did. The new horse is not the same as the old horse, despite the saddle being more comfortable. Also, and having extra pockets in it for cargo capacity, that sort of thing. So anyways, Jimba Itai is kind of going out the window with the new CX-5. And maybe I drive it and I'll shut my mouth. And maybe I'll drive it and be like, man, it's still got it. But until I drive it, the jury is still out for the most part. I think it's safe to say that it won't be as successful in many ways as this outgoing generation has been. It's dummy proof. It's just does everything so well. There's no major weaknesses, like I said, with this CX-5, and that's why it's one of the best cars money can buy still after 10 years. Thank you, second gen CX-5, for being so excellent, and we hope that the new one can some way, somehow carry the heavy torch that you've been carrying for the Mazda brand for the next 10 years. Maybe we'll get a mid-cycle refresh on the new one that has a reintroduction of physical controls and, you know, better placement events and all this stuff I complained about with the new CX-5. We'll find out. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I appreciate your following on the channel. I appreciate you guys helping my channel grow during the Japan Mobility Show. I'm surprised I'm not like jet lagged. I was yesterday. I feel like it's always easier to come back to America with jet lag than it is to go to Japan. But that's just me. All right, everyone's body's a little bit different. So thank you guys. Stay tuned for more, and I'll catch you guys in the comments, which I'm sure you will have plenty of things to say about the incredible outgoing CX-5 and the to be determined new CX-5. Peace.